Okay, I was kind of iffy on the first one, but I will give it credit. This shit's working for me. All right, back again, everyone, with the other big monster blockbuster that has been hugely successful since it came out, Dune Part 2. I remember I did review this one with Milena a few years ago when the first one came out, and I wasn't, like, huge fan of it. I mean, I still liked it. I thought it was good. It's well made. It's beautiful to look at. It just didn't quite grab me as much as I wanted to, and a lot of that comes down to I just do not like Timothy Chalamet, or however the fuck you pronounce his name. I heard someone called just Timothy God, whatever, some clever funny nickname. And I always feel, the more I've seen him in, like, I don't think he's a bad actor, but I just can't help but feel like everyone around him always acts circles around him. I feel like he's Hollywood's current golden boy, and I'm already kind of sick of him, and I never really thought he's that great to justify it. I'm sure he's, again, nothing against the person himself. I'm sure he's a lovely man. But I have yet to be very impressed by what he's given me. That being said, I do like the evolution of his character in this film. I do like the themes they're playing with. I do like how it very openly and explicitly shoots down the white hero savior narrative that a lot of people have attached to this story, particularly with the Zendaya's character, Chani, who I understand has been very much rewritten from the original story to be more of in direct opposition to that idea of a prophesized outside savior who's going to save all of them. I think I like that dynamic. I like the contrast. I do like that there is very much someone going, no, 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 this is bad. No matter how, like, what's happening, this is bad and it's going to end terribly. So on that note, I really do enjoy, and like, there's people way smarter than me that can kind of go more into the themes of this film. I'm sure many have. So I'm not going to go too much into that. I can just say, like, this movie works. The aesthetics work, the themes work, the artistic style obviously works phenomenally. The CGI looks gorgeous. The action sequences are stunning and engaging. I do think one more, like, nuanced part of this that I do want to talk about is and I feel bad bringing this up again because I feel like this is becoming more and more a freaking topic the more of these videos I do, mostly because, like, I feel like video criticism is such a wide spectrum that I need to do something to kind of set myself apart. So I do want to talk about the cultural impact of this film on the online spheres, because once again it has, again, it's hard to like movies right now if you're, like, on any kind of social media space because of the all or none approach that it has, and it makes it hard to talk movies just on the merits of the movies themselves without it being about something else. So, like, one thing you see about this one is a lot of pretentiousness around it. Like, if you like this movie, you are a sophisticated moviegoer, as opposed to just seeing the new fancy blockbuster that is just a little fancier than the rest of them, but, like, somehow liking that makes you better. And I just really feel like it ties into this larger problem of internet culture, of just an overabundance of self-righteousness. With movies in general. Like, if a movie is bad, if a movie just okay or something like that, you have to be like, no, this movie's fucking awful, this movie killed my children. But if this movie's great, it's like, oh, this movie, like, this is so much better than whatever other popular thing I've decided is bad now. And it just, it makes talking about movies frustrating, because it does take away from the merits of the actual film, whether it's good, whether it's bad, or if you like somewhere in between. You can't just really say that nowadays. You have to have some larger pretentious stance about it. I don't know. Maybe this is me turning to old man yelling at cloud. I don't know. I just know that you see a lot of that around this movie, and people, like, there's a bunch of articles online you'll see of, like, oh, this movie shows, like, the real problem of blockbusters and blah blah blah. I'm like, no, it doesn't, guys. It really fucking doesn't. Like, this is a good movie, and I'm glad it's getting the attention it deserves. It'll more than likely get a third one, and I'm glad that's the case. I want to see the next one. I want to see where the story goes. I'm excited to see what it comes next, even though I know based on how the books go, it gets fucking weird. But I'm excited to see where that journey takes us. I'm happy that this theme does kind of have those Middle Eastern themes, and how other cultures and other societies are trying to influence and inject themselves into this culture in a way that's hazardous to all. I like that it very much portrays like everything Timothée Chalamet does towards the third act of the film is bad. Where this movie ends is bad. It makes it very clear that's the case, and people, even though that's very clearly laid out to you, some people still miss the fucking point. But that's not the point. That I'm not gonna get into that. I guess it's hard not to try and find something to say that people haven't already talked about to death at this stage of things. All I can just say is that this is an excellent film. I think it's very good. I'm disappointed that it's become, once again, a ammunition for dumb culture wars. And a lot of movies that come out these days are weaponized for dumb culture wars, and it's getting to an absurd degree. But that being said, if you're not one of those people who enjoy those movies, all the power to you. I think we should be open to all walks of life with movies. If you like Marvel movies, great. If you like DC movies, cool. If you like more like artsy films, great. If you like indie films, awesome. If you like your blockbuster with a little bit of artsy fartsy in there, awesome, cool. But can we stop judging everyone else for what they like and don't like in that regard? Let's fucking let people like what they like. But I don't know. I'm gonna get on my soapbox there. I can once again, everything about this movie works. And it does makes you want to rewatch and reevaluate the first one. I still think everyone kind of acts circles around Timothée Chalamet, however the fuck you say his name. I do think characters like Christopher Walken's in this movie, he's kind of wasted. But I did like Léa Seydoux. Do you pronounce the X? I don't know. I think she's kind of the perfect fit for the character she's playing. I do think I was talking with a coworker about this movie, and there's one point where it's like, this villain character comes up who is like kind of sexy, and like I'm kind of like I didn't really want to say anything until I talked to my friend afterwards. Like, was he kind of? I was like, yeah. And I was like, who the hell is that? And then he shows up. I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And I always see people try to say like, oh, he's like the best villain of blah blah blah, and I'm like, no, he's not. None of the villains in this movie are particularly groundbreaking or memorable. They're visually interesting, but character-wise, they have about as much personality and candor as fucking Ronan from the first Guardians of the Galaxy. So I don't know. There's a lot of cases where there's a lot of window dressing to kind of hide more. I don't want to say simple characterizations. Florence Pugh's also in here for the same reasons Zendaya was in here, just to promote that she's more interesting or more involved if and when they make a next movie. It's definitely it's Austin Butler. That's who it was, who played the villain character that people say like, oh, he's an amazing villain. It's like, he's fine. His action sequences are good. But like stand-up roles, definitely Rebecca Ferguson deserves more roles. I think she did a great job here in playing this kind of interesting political piece in all of this, and talking about how her organization of, I forget their name, who are like influencing these kind of influencing these people and influencing this supposed prophecy, even though it's made very clear it's not a real prophecy. It's just there to sow propaganda, and the commentary it has about that propaganda and how it's used to further their agenda and further what they want in the long term all work very, very well. Javier Bardem does a great job as Stilgar. He's a fantastic character. Josh Brolin's back, and I always like Josh Brolin whenever he's in things. Overall, there's a lot to like about this movie, and it does make me want to see a third one, which the first movie didn't really quite get me there. That being said, I might rewatch it and see if I feel differently. So, that's all I got about Dune Part 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one. Bye.